Hey guys, it's your friend Cat Sketch, your nerdy, weird, awkward grandma of YouTube makeup artist friend here today, and we're gonna do a video since I'm terrified of these earthquakes. To stress my anxiety, I am going to do a chit chat get ready with me video that includes something very awesome, a brand new collection of this huge Pac-Man package from Wet n Wild. I'm gonna do a crazy makeup inspired by Pac-Man because I definitely grew up playing Pac-Man as a child, and this has not one but two layers of makeup. I love these bright eyeshadow colors. They have lipsticks and highlighters and blushes. I'm definitely going to do something resembling this. So we're going to do that today. I'm going to tell you about my history, about how I grew up playing Pac-Man and video games in general. I'm super excited to test out these products. I'm going to use the lip scrub, and this will hopefully calm my nerves down. Just throwing stuff everywhere. I grew up in an Asian family. Oh, that's a lip. I thought they were both lip scrubs. No, that's a lip balm. This one's the lip scrub. I have so many lip scrubs, but I'm not getting rid of these ones. Are you kidding me? They're so cute. Oh, they taste sweet too. They smell like apple rings. You know, peach rings, but apple. And then the lip balm. I grew up in a Japanese Native American family, and I was the only girl on the Japanese side. I didn't know the Native American side that much because they all passed away, sadly. But in Japanese cultures and families, we grow up showing love in different ways than most families. Some cultures do this, definitely ours. Instead of saying I love you, you should already know that, apparently. That's what my family told me. Instead, they like feed you all the food and then wonder why you're getting fat. Especially because I got white girl genes in me, where I'm thick. I'm a little chunk, not in a bad way. I feel like fat and chunky shouldn't be considered a bad term, even though we grew up with fat as a bad word. It's all how you perceive yourself, and who cares about what other people think, to be honest. I'm gonna put a wig on later, so that's why we're having this wig cap on. I'm gonna do a beauty makeup that's gonna be very like out there. These brushes I'm so excited about. And of course, I grew up with eating all that food, and a lot of boys, like I said, I was the only girl with a brother and two boy cousins, and the only thing we could relate with was video games. Whenever we went to an arcade, we always went to Pac-Man and the Simpsons game. Does anyone remember this? Oh, that's satisfying. Sorry. Distraction. Does anyone remember this arcade game of The Simpsons? Me and my brother beat the game before, and we thought we were just like the best people ever. And there were other kids that are like, oh, I've beaten it before, and we're like, no, we're just good because we're Asian. No, I'm kidding. We're not that stereotypical. That's so pretty. And we played so many games. Let me tell you about all the games. Of course, we were a Pokemon family. My mom was this Japanese beautiful artistic woman who drew portraits, and she could draw almost anything. That's how I grew up drawing. She taught me and my brother how to draw. My brother's an amazing artist. He's even better than I am, to be honest. And my mom, when we collected our Pokemon cards and binders, my mom would be so nice enough to spend hours slaving over drawings on pieces of paper for us of our favorite Pokemon. Like, she would color in with color pencil and draw in Vaporeon, which was my favorite Pokemon, and Eevee. I loved Eevee because Eevee could evolve into so many things. Like, even back then I was so into transformational things. That's why I loved Eevee, and these are so freaking hard to open. And she drew my brother Charizard. So we had the best Pokemon cards with the best drawings in the back. And that's how my mom showed love, like drawing us things, making stuff. Even on Christmas, my mom would, she'd make the presents into teddy bears for me and dinosaurs for my brother. She would like save the toilet paper roll, like the end of it, and like the paper towel rolls, and she would cut them up and stick them together onto regular gift boxes, but to shape them into teddy bears and T-Rexes for me and my brother. This is so cute, and they have imprinted the little Pac-Man and then the little ghost guys. Oh. So yeah, that's how we showed love, and we connected with all my boy cousins and me, because the only thing we knew how to do together to be nice to one another was play video games and Legos. Everything else was just me and my brother were always fighting. These are so gosh darn cute. But the other game that me and my brother would always be obsessed with was definitely Donkey Kong. back when N64 was a thing. We got into N64, Nintendo 64 super late compared to everybody else because my parents didn't believe in giving their children cable TV or anything new. But I think it was good because my mom wanted to give something for us to complain about so that we weren't spoiled rotten. Ow, I just cut my finger open. How? Let me go bandage it. How did this cut my finger open? There's a huge gash in my hand. I like the seal for your protection even though it injured me. Is that a bronze? I'm so confused by these highlighting balls. I just sliced my finger. Let me go bandage myself. I'll be right back. And we're back. My boyfriend bandaged me up. I might have a slight disability. That's an overstatement. But I can't bend this finger all the way when I'm painting my face. Today's weird. But I look at it this way. The universe is telling me that something good is going to happen because all these little discrepancies are happening now. I'm odd. I think of that stuff. Anyways, let's get started. So Donkey Kong. Oh, Donkey Kong Country was me and my brother's jam. And my brother was so sick of me, I'm sure, because on every video game, this is how much of a wimp I was. I would have him beat the hard parts for me because it made me so anxious if I couldn't beat something. And he'd give me $1 sometimes if I made him a sandwich. I love this foundation. This is the Bounce foundation by Beautyblender. It was always that game. What I love about Donkey Kong Country is all the characters in it, and there were those little hidden things and cheats that you had to know about to get extra bananas and coins and stuff. I loved that game so much. I liked Zelda too, but it was so hard for me. What I like to do in Zelda more on Nintendo 64 was play at the fishing hole and catch all the fish. Like I could just catch all the fish and play that ocarina to whisper over my horse. Everything else, like, I couldn't care less about in that game. I don't know why. Like, especially when you had to crawl through like little holes and stuff to get certain places, like that scared me so much, especially Majora's Mask. But Kirby, I played Kirby's The Crystal Castle, I think it was called, so many times, and my mom's like, why don't we just buy the game? Because I would rent it every single week back when there was, this is really shows my age, back when there was Blockbuster and movie rental places and you could rent video games. I would rent that one so much that they had to bring multiples onto the store floors. And the reason why I also love Kirby, because Kirby was kind of transformative, like Eevee, where Kirby would inhale people and get some of their capabilities, look like them a little bit, get some of their powers, especially in like Super Smash Brothers. My brother was really into that game. I would play it with him if he really bugged me, but that was more for him and his friends because I wasn't that good at it at all. The only game I was super good at was Hydro Thunder, like racing games, and I get super competitive. Like, I start cursing when I play competitive games sometimes now, unfortunately. Another game that I loved was Duck Hunt on, my swatches are so man, on the Super Nintendo. Oh, that was so fun. Super Nintendo was everything. Duck Hunt, Hogan's Alley. Duck Hunt, you had like a gun that you pointed at the screen and shot like ducks, which I'm sure everyone would cry about today because, you know, you're shooting and killing ducks, but they're virtual ducks. And there was like this cute little dog that would like go hee hee hee. He would laugh at you if you didn't get enough ducks that day. Another game I loved on N64 was Pokemon Stadium. There was this scene on Pokemon Stadium. I'm sure I've repeated this in videos before, but there was this game in Pokemon Stadium where there was a Lickitung, and Lickitung ate all these sushis, and it was so much fun. I just want to play that small game on Pokemon Stadium and forget the rest, of course. I still can't believe that this sliced my finger open. Just the edge. What is wrong with me? Am I cursed? Who cursed me? Now I'm scared to open everything. Why can't I open these? Wet n Wild, you need to put out a video description on how to open your products without injuring yourselves. Ooh, I'm gonna try this one. I'm not into shimmer blushes, but we're gonna try her anyways. Come on. Where's the pigment? Where is she? Oh, it's kind of there. Very shimmery. I just don't. She's patchy. I don't like that. Look at how it skips. It's here and here, but not here. No. Here we go. I'm gonna use Alamar Cosmetics because this blush palette is gorgeous. Yes, pigment. Sorry it went wild, but I had to. Limited edition blush. But it looks like highlight. So confused. They're like these balls of highlighter. Dude, I'm gonna use the sparkly color as highlight. Just try it. Another game that me and my brother loved, especially with friends. Oh, I love that. That's chunky glitter, but I like it. Was Super Mario Brothers Party. Oh, I love that more than the Smash Brothers. That was so much fun because there's so many mini games and you could choose so many different characters. That is probably the best game for multiples of people. Like me and my friends, even when we were in our 20s, still play that game. I think I grew up with video games because my mother actually stayed up. Well, it would be like a relief to her to get away from the kids when we were all asleep. She would stay up to like 3:30 in the morning playing video games. And she played Ninja Gaiden, which was amazing on... She was a classic Nintendo woman. And she played pool. And Rocket Man was a good one that we loved. Or Rocketeer, I think it was. I think it was Rocketeer. Ninja Gaiden was so good though, and we all loved that game. You were like this ninja and you had to go through all these levels and it was super difficult. You had to like climb the sides of buildings and stuff. Oh my gosh, does people remember Doom? I remember Doom was like my gateway drug into video games because that's when back before we were a Mac family, we were a PC, and my friend next door who had it first, she would like show me how to play Doom, and then we'd use the cheat codes to turn to godlike. Oh my gosh, and Sims on PC. I remember my dad wouldn't ever buy a brand new computer. He always got it used from some friend who like helped build the computer from scratch, but they were so old. And my computer was like, sounded like a train coming through the house because it was so old, made so much noise to start up to play Sims. Honestly, I'm kind of glad I didn't grow up like everyone else. My mom watched Tales from the Crypt with me and X-Files instead of like everyone else. My mom just had us watch what she was into, you know? Like fact or fiction, and I wouldn't trade that for the world. I think my mom wanted us to learn that, yeah, there is another world that other kids, you know, could relate to and got cable and I didn't. But, you know, there was comedy skits like Mad TV, Saturday Night Live and stuff, and she'd let us watch it, and I wouldn't trade that because I got to enjoy stuff she enjoyed too. And she really taught us that, you know, if you want this expensive cable that everyone else has, you're gonna have to earn your money to get it. I don't think we had cable till I was in college. And I had a job at the time, and I didn't pay for it, but still. Once we had our first jobs, my mom was like, okay, you got cable. I'm going to pack on some P. Louise concealer to hopefully make these eyeshadows pop more. So we'll see what happens. I really want to do the little ghosty guys up here on my eyelids. Alright, so let's do this orange on one eye. Ooh, I mixed the shimmer with the matte in this palette of the oranges, and it's looking pumpkiny bomb. I'm so excited about Halloween. That's probably why I stuttered about the color orange. I remember so vividly in my head that me and my brother would stay up so late playing this amazing game called TimeSplitters. And you were like these people that traveled through time, investigating, you know, this evil villain, traveling through time himself, through wars and all different, the 70s, all different stuff, even on trains and everything. And you had to try to catch him. And he had like warp guns, and it was so cool. And me and my brother would play that all the time. And we would order pizza and we'd be up till like almost 4 in the morning, on summers of course when we did, or if we, on weekends if we finished our homework. Get that teal. I love these orange. Some of these colors are, and I love that highlighter, some of these colors are iffy. I'm scared about using the yellow, but the other ones really slap. I might use another color from another palette, like my Creepy Cute palette, just to make that orange more the blue more vibrant and bright, because that looks a little dull to me. I've been so happy in general lately, and I'm so glad that I have a new palette to play with that's inspired by video games. Now, if only they would do more Tim Burton palettes. Please, pretty please. Oh yes, this is the Creepy Cute eyeshadow palette from Strobe Cosmetics in the color Cold Shoulder, because it's more of that ghostly color. I like the blue, it's just very dull, to be honest. I wish they had this color blue in there. I'm gonna do the rest of the eyes last because I'm gonna do little eyeballs on those guys, on my eyeballs, and I don't want them to having a greater chance of smearing. Why don't we do a dark blue lip? This is in the color Inky from this collection. It's very much like one of those glossy lipsticks as a glossy finish. That's like a lipstick with gloss in one. I'm not loving the lipstick, but I like the color. You have to put a lot on to get a pigment without streaks. All right, now to have some real fun. Another game that I loved as a kid that me and my brother played, it was like Pokemon, and there's these monsters like Pokemon, but I actually liked it better than Pokemon, if you believe that. If I could find a screenshot, I'll put it here. It was so fun. Black aqua paint with a fan brush to get some streaks. I know it sounds weird to have streaks, but hear me out. It's going to read ready on top of this black. Coming from my mouth, like the lanes that he travels on. Oh my gosh, Tomb Raider on the computer PC game, that was my jam. This is so morbid, but when I grew up, I would have Lara Croft jump from the top. I think because my neighbor showed me this and she was super morbid and drink the Hershey syrup out of my refrigerator. She showed me that, like, how creepy Laura and gruesome Lara Croft's deaths looked when it was in the game, when she jumped from the top of the stairs of her mansion. Because you could like swing from her chandeliers and stuff in some parts of the game, but if you missed, she would hurt herself. That sounds morbid. Does anyone remember the Rosebuds hack on Sims? I remember playing Final Fantasy. I wasn't a super huge Final Fantasy fan, but I would just want to watch the love scenes, like them falling in love and kissing in the water, and I would have my brother, again, do all the difficult parts for me, so I'm not a true gamer at all. Oh my gosh, now I remember. There's this game on Super Nintendo. I forgot. It was some sort of boxing game, and one of the boxers, I think the first one, his name was Honda something, and me and my brother loved that game. He was so much better at it than I was, of course. It was so much fun to be this guy who was a boxer. This guy looked like Marky Mark, the boxer, and you had to beat all these other guys, and they eventually got harder and harder each level, and you try to become the world champion. Okay, now I'm just gonna take the yellow from my Makeup Forever Flash palette and talk about some other great games. Does anyone remember GoldenEye on N64? I'm such a grandma, but that game was so much fun. We would even have a blast watching someone else play it and guiding them through the steps. Just doing these little yellow womp, 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 womp dots. And we're gonna do the ready. Another great game was the Tony Hawk skateboarder game on N64. Oh my gosh. That was so much fun because you learned so much about like little skateboard moves. And I did not care about skateboarding, but I loved that game. Mario Tennis was so good. I was obsessed with Mario Tennis. I was also obsessed with, which reminds me of, remember when Wii came out and like it was trying to, I feel like, make people more active, like make them want to work out. But I feel like DDR did that already. For an Asian girl, I'm so bad at DDR. I feel like Bunny's even better at DDR than I am. Shoot, everyone's better at DDR. Your mom's better at DDR than I am. I'm not good at it. If you don't know what DDR is, Dance Dance Revolution, Where Have You Been? Oh, this reminds me of Wreck-It Ralph for some reason while I'm doing this. You remember Zelda when it was so 8-bit and amazing? I feel like anyone could accomplish that game back in the day. Putting some black liquid, so it's like pouring out of my lips. Alright, now for the white aqua paint to the little eyes. I also remember playing Mario Golf and liking it. And I specifically remember a game called Bomberman that was so cute and conniving. And I remember loving that game. I don't remember much about it, but I remember loving it. And looking back online at the pictures of it, I remember I loved that game. So Nintendo, if you want to sponsor your girl, Pac-Man, Wet n Wild. I definitely feel like I have Tic Tacs on my eyes that are a little wet right now. Did I already mention Mario Kart? Because that was so good. And so was Pokemon Snap. Even though it was a little boring, I still had fun. Now I'm going to curl my lashes and put on some lashes. So let me just do that and I'll be back. Okay, now that the lashes are on, I'm gonna put the wig on, see how it looks and turns out. This wig is from everydaywigs.com. They have great lace front wigs that are great quality. They really blend into the hair nicely, and I don't even have to use wood glue. Watch. They just snap right on. Real nice. So I hope you guys enjoyed this makeup look of me turning into Pac-Man. Leave me a comment down below on what was your favorite video game growing up or now. I would love to hear it. Thank you to Wet n Wild for this beautiful collection. I absolutely love the eyeshadow palette. Some of the colors, especially that color I used for the highlighter. The lip scrubs are really awesome too. All the products I used in this video will be listed down below in the description box. Subscribe, creators, for more videos like this and effects videos. And I do creepy ghost story videos. And I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video, creators. Bye!